welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you to my backyard, and we're going to be in my main herb garden on this overcast, potential rainy day again. Everybody's been wanting to see my herb garden, so I've decided to do a little walkabout, take you along with me, show you what's growing in this herb garden. And yes, I will warn you now, there are weeds. Oh my gracious, there's weeds. So don't panic. I know they're there. I haven't been able to work in the herb garden to pull the weeds, get rid of the pepperberry vine, which I just am so tired of. Now I'm seeing that I have Carolina creeper trying to creep in, which that won't last long. But I just wanted to take you along and show you that, yes, I have weeds also. My gardens are not perfect. They never will be, because I'm stretched too thin and there's just not enough of me to go around. But I take care of as many of the invasive, really bad weeds as much as possible. And also now I will be talking about each herb that I am showing. Some are just culinary, some are culinary and medicinal. Now others I will go into more detail about their healing benefits or culinary uses, and some are just ordinary herbs that most of you should know about already, and also in previous videos that I've done. So we're going to get started here in a bit. I just wanted to let you know my herb garden is more of a cottage garden. It's not formal at all, because I'd have too much trouble trying to keep it immaculately clean, which immaculate is just goes against me. I'd rather a more natural look, let the herbs grow the way they want to. Now I do try clip them back, I harvest from them, so that trains them to grow back. Sometimes it encourages them to spread out, and sometimes that's a really good thing. I hope you enjoy this walk around my herb garden. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask down in the comment section. I'm more than happy to help and answer them the best I can, or direct you in a better way to go get more information. Always do your studying, always research, because what I say is not always the gospel. There are many ways to learn, but also be careful how you learn them and make sure that the information is good. Alright, let's get busy on this walkabout in my herb garden. Here is a bird's eye view of the herb garden. Okay, to get the herbal walkabout started, pictured here, all in here, all in here, all over here. I'm thankful it's spreading very nicely. This is called hot and spicy oregano. Oh, and it is so wonderful. Now, it is a culinary herb, but also oregano can be medicinal as well. It is very good for fighting infections, for colds, flu, and so on. It's one plant that is definitely needed in everyone's herb garden. It don't have to be hot and spicy. It can be regular oregano. And I see it on the camera, but I'm trying to find it. Okay. Next on the tour is a very sacred herb to many Native Americans, and it is pretty much one of very few grasses that you will hear me raving about. And this beautiful here, growing lush and taking over, is sweetgrass. Yes, I'm able to grow sweetgrass here. Now it is starting to crowd out my mountain sage, so I'm going to have to transplant my sage. I really need to build another bed for the sweetgrass because it has escaped the boundaries, and I want to try to keep it as centrally located as possible. Now, of course, many know sweetgrass as a smudge herb. It does actually have many medicinal benefits as well. The smoke of the burning sweetgrass was used to treat colds and breathing problems. Breathing problems like asthma, chest congestion, because it helps to loosen the airwaves, and it's also an expectorant. Now you can make a tea with it to treat fevers, coughs, sore throats, and also it's a woman's tonic as well. It helps to stop uterine bleeding, and it helps to shed the afterbirth after giving birth. So it's a very important herb. Now many don't realize that it's also a culinary herb as well. Now in Europe, the essential oil is used in cooking to flavor tobacco, and the most interesting one that I've learned about is that it is also used to make a Polish vodka known as Zubrowska. Zubrowka. Zubrowka. Now, it does grow naturally in Upper Europe, Canada, and the northern United States. But here in the South, I'm having great luck growing it here. Now let's move on to the next herb in my garden. Many don't know about this one, this beautiful yellow flowering plant here. It's called agrimony. Now, it is in the rose family and is it's mostly used as an astringent herb, so it's going to be bitter. Now, it is second to yarrow for helping to stop blood flow, and this is the one I'm talking about, not the horrible Carolina creeper thing. To stop blood flow from wounds. It helps to relieve tension from the body. It also has an affinity, which I find interesting, for working on ailments of the liver and gallbladder. It can also help ease pain of passing kidney stones as well. It can be made into a tea for children or adults to help stop bedwetting as well. Okay, let's move on. Then we have a beautiful, one of many of my beautiful comfreys, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. And then we have beautiful artemisia growing. There's a beautiful stand It's the tall feathery artemisia. Now I harvest it for many things. Also use it to make smudges as well. Now it is grown all over the world as a healing plant. Most people don't know this. It's also known, of course, as wormwood, which the reason why it gets its name wormwood is it helps to rid the body of parasites. And it can vary in uses worldwide. Now one study, well several studies, this plant has been used for many, many years to actually treat malaria. It is known to heal malaria as well. It's also an anti-inflammatory, it's an antioxidant, antimicrobial, and an antifungal. It's a very important medicinal herb that all should have in their herb gardens. Now, like I said, I have stuff pop up. It's been a weird year. I'm trying to figure out where the elephant ears have come from, because I sure would not have planted them in my herb garden, but they are welcome. And like I said, I like to, well, I haven't said yet, sorry. I love to decorate, and believe it or not, bowling balls make wonderful gazing globes as well. Now we're going to move over here. I won't go into great detail about this herb because most should know about this wonderful herb. And of course it's not showing it too well. But the pink flowered ones here, that is echinacea in bloom. I cannot tell you which echinacea it is, but it's echinacea and they're all medicinal. And I am thankful to have it in my herb garden. Unfortunately, I see a black walnut coming up that I need to dig up and pot up. And the clover. Oh my gracious, I'm thankful for the clover, but it and the lemon balm are taking over. And I'm going to try to weave you through here. Don't get nauseous on me now. I do have peppermint for you if you do. I'll make you a tea. Let me scoot it back just a little bit, so you can get a full view of it. Whoop, and not get attacked by the artemisia. This huge, beautiful patch of the low-growing, what's surrounding Buddha, and back over there, that is one beautiful, healthy patch of St. John's wort. It is a very, very important medicinal herb. It is, of course, most know it as being used for depression, anxiety, but it's also used for insomnia, kidney and lung ailments. It also can be used for wound healing, especially mood disorders, eczema, and minor burns, bug bites, and so on. It is a wonderful medicinal herb that all should have growing in their garden, especially their herb garden. Now I'll show you here in a little while. It is blooming already, which it should not be. It's not supposed to bloom until around the summer equinox. So everything is really off kilter. Now over here, surrounding the bowling ball, excuse me, and you can tell I really didn't put a dent into it. I have lemon balm And I also noticed that I have more apple mint, which isn't supposed to be back here. It's in the front herb garden. But I guess it's going to be welcome back here, like it or not. I see plenty of weeds that I need to get up. So, and most should know I've done a prior video about lemon balm, so you can go back to read the description below the video. And I have all the medicinal benefits of lemon balm. Okay, we're going to make our way through the jungle carefully. And you can see where I was trying to weed, and I just had to abandon my weed bucket because of rain. Now, this big plant sprawling over here, back over here, over there, that is a wonderful medicinal herb known as comfrey. I absolutely love my comfrey, and I will always have it in my herb garden. Now, it also goes by bone set, bone knit, just to name a few of its names. Now, you can use the leaves and the roots, both externally and internally. It is wonderful to help wounds heal faster, which you would make a salve with it, or what I do is I will infuse olive oil with it and make a healing salve with it. It also heals sprains. It's anti-inflammatory. It cures bruises, bug stings, and also skin irritations. And when I get ready to make my infused comfrey oil, I will show y'all step by step how to make it. Now, it can also be drank as a tea to help heal inner ailments such as, believe it or not, asthma, colds, coughs, chest congestion, and can heal smaller ulcers, those that are slow bleeding ulcers. Now, you don't want to just drink a whole lot of it, but in moderation, it will definitely heal you. Now, I'm going to pan over here to the rose hips. There was one thing that, and the rose hips are right there and all over. There was one thing I forgot to mention in my rose hip video. They are exceptionally wonderful for migraines. A lot of times migraines are brought upon you by having excessively low vitamin C in your system. And there's a medicinal tea that I make with the rose hips. You have to have dried, preferably organic rose hips, the crushed kind, not the powder. Bring you a saucepan full of water right to steam. Toss in a handful of the crushed rose hips. Put a lid on it, remove it from the flame. Let it cool down to room temperature. Strain it. Take an 8-ounce glass. Fill it halfway full with the rose hip tea. And fill the rest of the jar with whole milk, not that watered down milk, but it's got to be whole milk, and it will knock any migraine. Now, you will get drowsy. It's not like a medicated drowsy. It's a restful to heal your body drowsy, and yep, it knocks any migraine. Okay, we're going to move over this way. Once in a while, I like flowers and plants that are not medicinal in my herb garden, and hopefully these are going to bloom. I haven't seen them bloom yet, and I planted them last year at some gladiolus. Here's another beautiful stand or clump of artemisia, and I'll show you that it's fixing to get ready to bloom, so I need to harvest it very soon. But see the beautiful blooms? That's the buds. It's getting ready to bloom, and I will show you how to harvest it and hang it to dry. Now over here, and I've decided I'm going to move them out of my herb garden. Hold on, I'm fighting with the yarrow because it wants its moment of glory. I'll walk over here. Now these, like I said, you will have mistakes on where to plant things, and I know I made a mistake, but they're growing great here, but I will be transplanting them. These, and I don't know, can you see? Yep. Let's see if I can move the camera. There we go. Right down here. These little green berries, those are choke berries, not choke cherries. These are choke berries. They're in the same family as choke cherries, but these grew on the east side of the Mississippi River. They used to grow all over the eastern United States, but with so much destruction, a lot of the groves have been wiped out. But they have the same benefits of choke cherries. You can make jelly with it. You're just going to have to use a whole lot of sugar, but they're wonderful. And they're doing good here, but they're just getting smothered out by other things. Now, I'm going to show you my beautiful lilies. Now, one thing a lot of people don't know, now these are ditch lilies, also known as corn lilies. Do not mistake them for Asiatic lilies at all. But a lot of people don't know. See this bud right here? Not this one, but this bud right here. Let it get a little bit bigger, kind of like this one, and you can pickle those. Yeah, you give up having the flower bloom, but they taste amazing pickled, and they're a real treat. I'm wanting to find somewhere where there's massive amounts of them growing so I can harvest some to show y'all how to pickle them. Okay, we're going to move over here, and of course this is my big beautiful yarrow plant. It's still blooming. Where I harvested, they're branching out, so I should get several big nice harvests from it. Okay, I'm fixing to weave myself through the jungle here. And this is what I was wanting to show you. And they shouldn't be blooming at all. It's not time. But if you can see the yellow flowers, that's my St. John's wort blooming. It should not be flowering. It's not time for it. Okay, I'm going to pause so I can get through the jungle safely. Now, for those who watched my video on planting Siberian motherwort, as you can see, it is doing wonderfully. It is taller than I am, and I just noticed, let me bring you closer, right here. it is going to be flowering soon. And that's when I'm going to want to harvest it. Now the rest need to get a little taller, but that is going to be beautiful and tall and healthy. And there's another one fixing to bloom. But it's happy as can be. I'm fighting with the comfrey. Bring you over here. I'm hoping that my gladiolus bloom this year. Oh, looks like I have a flower stalk on. Let's see. Let's see now, where did I see it? Right here. They're going to bloom for me this year. And I don't know what color they're going to be, so it's going to be a surprise. And back there is my poor neglected canna patch. And back behind that, you can't even see them, but I have a prickly pear cactus patch. Let me adjust you here. Let's see. This plant right here. That is passion flower coming up. My passion flower vine is finally coming up. The weather here has been so crazy and so cool. All my warm tropical perennials, and yes, my passion flower comes back year after year. This is its third year. They don't know what to do, but at least it's coming back. Now, a lot of people don't know that it is a medicinal herb. Now, as a child, my daddy and me would walk the fence rows and in the woods, and after they bloom, they make like a, let's see, let me adjust, there we go, an oval green fruit, a potted fruit. And I was always taught to call it maypops. And I'm not even going to begin to try to guesstimate how many me and Daddy ate. He absolutely loved them. Now, like I said, it is an actual medicinal herb as well. Now, you would make a tea with the dried flowers and the leaves. It is excellent to use for problems with sleeping. It is also helpful to relieve stress, anxiety, and insomnia, just to name a few of its medicinal benefits. Now, it is kind of a nerve vine, so if you drink the tea, you're going to want to be prepared to, lightly and gently go off to sleep, because it does help with insomnia. But it is another wonderful medicinal and edible plant that everyone should have in their herb garden. Now, it will vine up the makeshift trellis that I have built for it, and when it starts blooming, I'll bring you back and show you its beauty. Alright, now to another section. Now here's a rose exception. This rose was gave to me, and it is one amazingly sweet smelling rose, and I just absolutely love it. Now over here, I'm lucky. When I was cleaning out my front herb bed, my poor rosemary took a really bad hard hit from snowpocalypse, and I noticed a lot of the branches were laying low, which is not good. So I decided to clip them off and try to root more plants. Well, I started 14 cuttings and I have 11 new rosemary plants, and I'm just happy as can be because rosemary grows slow. You have to be careful how many you harvest, because if you harvest too much rosemary, you'll kill it. And this way I'll have even more rosemary and I can just clip a little bit here and there. Okay, here I finally have my calendula coming up. They're taking their sweet time this year because of this crazy, way too cool weather and way too much rain, but nonetheless I am tickled to death to have it. And here in front of you, which is going to be blooming soon, this is chicory. It is a natural coffee substitute, but it doesn't have the caffeine. And as you can see, the flower stalk, it's a beautiful blue flower. And I really need to turn over this pot gently and separate them and get them replanted. Now these two back pots, that one and this one, that's my gorgeous, beautiful horseradish. I'm looking forward to harvesting it so I can make fire cider and hopefully some horseradish mustard. Now this one's gone crazy. There's a wild lettuce growing in it, which I'm going to leave it alone because I use wild lettuce and make pain medication from it. Now down here, if you remember me doing the ginger mint video, see how wonderful it's looking? It's already starting to make mini runners, and it'll have that pot filled out before this fall. And here's the other ginger mint, which it's starting to make runners and spread out as well. And when was it last week when I done the planting spearmint video? Look at it now. Hold on, let's see if I can use this as a selfie stick. Look at all the new growth on there. I told you it won't take long. You won't know this plant at all. It, instead of looking like little sticks being planted, it's gonna bush out and be really beautiful. Okay, let's go over here. This first pot here is my citrus mint. Then I have lime mint. Then the next pot is chocolate mint. And that final pot is my absolute favorite mint of all, Kentucky Kernel. It's also the same mint that they use to make the mint juleps at the Kentucky Derby. All right, give me just a second. Now down here, I have a mixture of a few big ever-bearing strawberries, which once I figure out which one is which, I will transplant them. But most of them are an amazing, wonderful strawberry not many know about, and they're alpine strawberries. Now what I plan on eventually doing is dehydrating these and using them to make my own actual real strawberry instant oatmeal, where it's not colored flavored chunks of apple. Yes, people, read the boxes before you eat something. None of the instant oatmeals that you buy have the actual fruit in it. It's all colored apple chunks. See, these are little small strawberries, perfect. Perfect for dehydrating whole. And I noticed I didn't see these over here, and some bugs had themselves a feast. But look at those, aren't those beautiful? Oh, that one's a little too early. But these are alpine strawberries. This plant, this amazing mother plant to a lot of these babies, has been producing for months on end. Ah, that's my walkabout treat. And then I have a mimosa tree that I've got to dig up and transplant somewhere else. Yes, I know a lot of people hate mimosas trees, but believe it or not, they are extremely medicinal and actually have better medicinal abilities to help with anxiety, depression, and mood disorders than St. John's wort. What you use is the blooms. It's a wonderful plant. I know it's not medicinal, but here's my last pot of potatoes, my russet potatoes, and I notice that it's fixing to bloom. Now here we have what is called hoary skullcap. It is a beautiful medicinal herb. And let's see, I'm playing where, look at those beautiful flowers. I'm trying not to swirl it too fast because it is in the mint family. It does, of course, have the square stem. Let's see if I could, there we go. And it is absolutely a beautiful medicinal. And then I have more poor irises that need to be planted. And I can't remember what kind of skull cap this one is. And it has apparently some apple mint in the middle of it. And then I'm not sure if these are garlic chives or Chinese chives. And apparently it has some spiderwort in it, which I'm happy to have. Here's another big container of wonderful, wonderful Kentucky kernel mint. And then, and you have to laugh, it's pennyroyal, and there's a big wild violet growing in it, and another little baby prickly pear cactus coming up, which I'll have to transplant. And then I have more oregano, some more of those chives or onions. And last but not least, on this side, is a beautiful big pot of wonderful spearmint. Now let's go over here and take a look at something else. Now the sun has decided to come out, so I can't half see the screen. But these wonderful, wonderful plants are known as curry trees. Yes, curry trees. You can harvest the leaves. Oh, there you go. Got to get a little higher. Harvest the leaves, dry them, and grind them into powder, and it makes original curry powder. You can also mix it with other herbs and spices and make your own version of curry powder. Now, let's see, can you see? Each one of these little green balls that are growing now are a potential another curry tree. And I cannot tell you how absolutely happy I am. I hope y'all can see that. But I have 5 pots, which I need to, I have, yes, 5 plants. I need to repot them because there's just bukus of babies also coming up off the mother plant. And I am going to have plenty of curry plants, without a doubt. Okay, last but not least is our smallest, newest elderberry grove. Now this is on the outskirts of the herb garden, which if it keeps going like it is, it's going to be expanded because I keep adding more and blessed with more plants and seeds. Oh, I just remembered one more plant. I don't know if you can see the little tiny flowers right in here. There is a big thyme plant in there, and it's the only one out of a dozen beautiful, huge thyme plants that survived snowpocalypse. It was heartbreaking for me to lose all those beautiful thymes, but I had one survive, and I have another big one that was gave to me, so I will get those planted soon. Now I have one more huge, beautiful thing to show you. Now this is my pride and joy of my herb gardens. This is the one I affectionately call Grandmother Elderberry. I do believe that she is responsible for all the many other elderberry groves on our property, besides the ones that we planted ourselves. But she is huge. Her trunk is very large for an elderberry. Let's see if I can get up closer. I'm hoping to get my bush hog weed eater fixed soon so I can clean around her out. But look at her trunk. Look how big her trunk is. Is that not just beautiful? But I've got to get this horrid pepperberry vine out of her. But is she not just gorgeous? And she's going to be loaded too. And I am looking forward to it. Well, I hope you have found this video inspiring and informative. And as usual, don't forget to read the comment section below. Well, not the comment section, I'm sorry. The description box below. I'll have more information about what I talked about. That way you don't have to take notes. Please click the like and subscribe button so you can come along with me on other adventures. Click the bell notification so that you'll know when I upload another video. I hope this inspires you as well to start your own culinary medicinal herb gardens, because I have multiple gardens, because I have shade gardens, full sun, and so on. It's not hard to do, people. You just have to desire and have the knowledge. That's all. Knowledge is power. Everyone, take care, because I'm about to melt. It's time to go sit under the shade for a little while, because I'm not used to the yellow ball in the sky coming out. Everyone, take care. go dig in the soil, go plant some vegetables, go enjoy life, and stock back and prepare, because we're going to need to be self-sufficient as much as possible in the coming months and years. Hope you have a blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Everyone, take care.